Most men believe that when a woman goes quiet, it's because she's hurt, confused, or emotional. But the truth is far darker. Her silence is a test. Her indifference is a strategy. And your reaction? That's what she's really watching. Because while you chase answers, she's watching you reveal everything. Your weakness, your need for validation, your fear of losing her. And what if I told you that every moment she ignores you, she's gathering information? Measuring your power, testing your frame, not with words, but with absence. This isn't romance, this is psychological warfare. Welcome to our channel, and the 10 hidden female strategies Machiavelli would have exposed if he had written about modern dating. In a world flooded with overexposure, where everyone's broadcasting their every move, the most dangerous thing a man can be is fully understood. Most men believe that being transparent, open, expressive, emotionally available is the path to intimacy. But here's the brutal truth. What is easily understood is easily dismissed. And Machiavelli, centuries ago, would have warned you, never reveal your whole plan, let others misinterpret your silence. You think being vulnerable makes you strong. You tell her everything, your goals, your past, your pain. You leave nothing to imagination because you think clarity builds trust. But what it really builds is emotional boredom. Because what doesn't leave room for mystery doesn't leave room for obsession. Remember this, curiosity is addictive. And once she feels like there's nothing more to figure out about you, she mentally moves on, even if she physically stays. Women fall for possibility, not personality, not who you are, but what you might be. The problem is, most men walk around trying to be understood, not misunderstood. They want to be known, not wondered about. But Machiavellian attraction doesn't work that way. She needs puzzles, not perfection. You must become a story with missing pages. A book she can't put down because every chapter ends with a question she's not ready to stop asking. So, don't explain everything. Hint, suggest, let her wonder. Not in a manipulative way, but in a powerful, intentional way. Because the man who reveals nothing is feared. But the man who reveals too much is forgotten. Let me show you how this works in practice. When she asks, "What are you thinking?" Don't spill. Don't rush to explain. Say, "Some things are better left felt than said." When she says, "Why didn't you text me last night?" Don't defend. Say, "Because my silence has more meaning than my words." You're not being cold, you're being crafted. The difference between mystery and manipulation? Intention. You're not trying to deceive. You're refusing to be decoded too easily. Women want to explore a man, not memorize him. They want to uncover you piece by piece, moment by moment. So, next time you feel the urge to explain yourself, don't. Let your unpredictability become your most attractive trait. Let your pauses hold more power than your paragraphs. Because mystery isn't a tactic, it's a form of psychological gravity. And the moment she feels like she can never fully figure you out, she'll never stop trying. Let's expose a truth no one wants to say out loud. The person who cares less has more control. Now, I'm not saying don't care at all. I'm saying the one who can withstand emotional silence longer wins. That tension you feel when she pulls away, delays her response, stops texting back, that isn't weakness, it's leverage. And most men, the moment they sense emotional distance, panic. They overreact, they double text, they try to fix what wasn't even broken. But here's the paradox. The more emotionally available you are, the less valuable your attention becomes. Women don't chase attention, they chase the absence of it, when it's just rare enough to feel like a challenge. Think about it. If a woman posts a selfie and gets 200 compliments, do you really believe yours stands out? It doesn't. You're not adding value. You're confirming what she already expects. Your attention becomes wallpaper, present, predictable, invisible. But if you're the one who doesn't respond instantly, who skips the fire emoji, who lets her wonder if you even noticed? Now you're the anomaly. Now she's asking questions. Why didn't he comment? Is he losing interest? Did I do something wrong? Congratulations. You've just activated her emotional insecurity, the same insecurity that turns indifference into obsession. Machiavelli once wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved, if one cannot be both." Modern translation: it is better to be missed than to be constantly present, because presence without scarcity becomes cheap, but presence after distance, that becomes desire. Let me break this down in psychological terms. Humans crave closure. When something feels incomplete, our brain loops endlessly, searching for resolution. So when you disappear briefly, not rudely, not with malice, but strategically, you become an open loop in her emotional world. Her thoughts return to you not because she chooses to, but because her mind is trying to close the gap. This is why delayed gratification works. This is why ghostwriters become legends, and this is why the silent man becomes unforgettable. You must learn to use emotional space as a weapon, a soft, quiet, but deadly one. But here's the trick. This isn't about ignoring her. It's about not making her the center of your gravity. It's about reminding her that you are a man with a world outside of her validation. So, take time off the grid. Take a few hours or days before replying. Let her message sit unread. Let her mind wander. Because silence, when used intentionally, is louder than any word you'll ever speak. Women don't want what they understand. They want what they can't predict. And the man who can disappear and still remain unforgettable, that's the man who owns her attention. Every woman wants safety, but here's the paradox. She craves unpredictability, not the kind that hurts her, the kind that haunts her, the kind that makes her heartbeat quicken because she doesn't know what you'll do next, but she trusts you anyway. Most men confuse emotional stability with emotional flatlining. They become overly predictable. Same texts, same compliments, same energy, every single time. And that's not comforting, it's boring, because even safety, when too constant, becomes a cage. The female psyche doesn't just want order, it wants contrast. It desires tension, the sweet followed by the cold, the comfort wrapped in mystery, the silence that makes her question and chase. Now here's the brutal truth. Predictability breeds emotional death. If she knows your every move, what's left to feel? Where's the spark? Where's the thrill? That's why Machiavelli warned, a prince who cannot inspire fear cannot hold loyalty. Not fear of punishment, fear of losing your attention, fear of not knowing if she still holds your focus. You must become the storm she didn't see coming. Not destructive, but emotionally disruptive. Beautiful, rare, uncontainable. So how do you do it? Simple. You master controlled chaos. Show up with flowers after a week of silence. Pull her close and say nothing. Just look at her. Cancel dinner and take her dancing instead. Make her feel your world. Don't just explain it. Because emotions don't rise when everything is known. They rise when something unknown knocks on the door. Think of it like music. A song with no changes in tempo, no highs or lows, quickly fades into background noise. But a melody with silence, crescendos, unexpected drops, that's the one that gives you chills. Be that melody. You want her thoughts stuck on you? Then confuse her comfort. She shouldn't be certain you'll always say yes. She shouldn't be sure you will always be available. She shouldn't know if today you will open up or stay silent with a smirk that says, "Not yet." That tension, that unpredictability, it's not toxic, it's necessary. It's the psychological friction that keeps her emotionally alert and emotionally invested. Now, here's where most men get it wrong. They think unpredictability means being cold, distant, or rude. Wrong. It means being multidimensional, strong and distant, soft and mysterious, warm and untouchable. You give her just enough to feel safe, but never enough to feel in control. Because women don't fall in love with certainty. They fall in love with the man they can't quite grasp, but can't let go of either. So, next time you think, should I pull back a little? The answer is yes. Not because you want to hurt her, but because you want to haunt her in a way she'll never admit, but will always remember. Let's destroy a myth right now. You are not the prize. Because a prize, it sits still. It waits to be claimed. It's a static reward, and women don't chase static things. What they chase are projects, puzzles, emotional mysteries wrapped in masculine form. A man in motion, not a man on a pedestal. Here's the psychological truth. Women are builders, not always physically, but emotionally. And deep down, many women feel this magnetic urge to shape, refine, or elevate the men they're drawn to. That's not an insult. That's nature. And because helping a man rise triggers a deeper attachment than any compliment ever could. Why? Because once she invests in your evolution, she becomes emotionally tied to the outcome. It's no longer you she's chasing, it's who she believes you're becoming, with her influence. That's the secret most men miss. They show up already perfect, successful, polished, Instagram ready, but perfection doesn't pull emotional strings. Progress does. Think about it. You tell her you're building a business. You admit you're working on your self-discipline. You reveal that public speaking once terrified you, but you're leaning into the discomfort. You're not whining, you're not begging, you're revealing mission, and inviting her silently to be part of it. Now, she's no longer just a bystander. She's involved, emotionally, spiritually, energetically. And when a woman helps shape you, she won't want to let go. Not because you need her, but because she now sees herself inside your journey. Machiavelli would say, "A woman is loyal not to the crown, but to the one who lets her place a jewel in it." Let her feel like she's adding something to your empire, something subtle, something real. And this is not about manipulation, it's about shared purpose. Let's say you're emotionally reserved, but you open up slowly around her. That moment feels earned. She thinks, "I brought something out of him no one else could." That's not just attraction, that's emotional bonding at a neurochemical level. She didn't just feel wanted, she felt chosen. She didn't just receive validation, she unlocked it. Now she's invested, now she's addicted, because you're not the trophy she won. You're the man she's helping mold. And that sense of ownership is where obsession begins. But here's your warning, you must remain in control of your own story. You can reveal the climb without collapsing into her hands. Let her contribute, don't let her control. You're not broken, you're becoming. So next time you are tempted to present yourself as already made, pause. Show her the mission, not just the mansion. Show her the journey, not just the destination. And most importantly, show her that her presence doesn't complete you, but it does sharpen your edge. Because women don't fall for finished products. They fall for stories they can enter. Stories where they matter. Stories that don't end the moment she says yes, but begin the moment she believes she's part of your becoming. Let's stop pretending. You're not here because you want another relationship. You're here because you're tired of being the one who wants more, the one who overtexts, the one who overthinks, the one who gives more, only to get less. So let's burn that version of you right here, because real power doesn't chase, it pulls like gravity. And to become gravity, you must learn the one truth that rewrites every interaction you've ever had. Women don't fall in love with what you offer. They fall in love with how they feel around your frame. Read that again. Most men try to impress with achievements, money, muscles, mindset, but none of that matters. If your presence is lightweight, if your emotional world is chaotic, if your mind is reactive, anxious, needy, because the woman you were trying to attract, she's not reading your words, she's feeling your foundation. And if that foundation is cracked, she walks. So how do you flip the game? How do you go from emotionally hungry to emotionally magnetic? It starts here. You stop needing her validation like it's oxygen. You realize that being chosen is irrelevant when you've already chosen yourself. You stop trying to win her and instead become the place she wins when she earns your time. You stop performing, stop pleading, stop proving. You become unshakable. That doesn't mean being cold, it means being clear. Clear in your energy, clear in your value, clear in your silence. The kind of man who doesn't explain why he walked away, because his absence explains everything. You start commanding respect not through arguments, but through emotional boundaries so firm, they echo louder than any speech ever could. That's when the dynamic flips. You stop chasing attention and attract curiosity. You stop fighting to be loved and become the standard others measure against. Women begin to orbit you, not because you're trying harder, but because your gravity finally got strong enough. You're no longer reacting to every mood, message, or moment. You are the weather system now, the still storm, the center of emotional balance in a world obsessed with noise. And when she feels that, when she feels you don't need her, but she wants to stay, That's the moment attraction evolves into devotion, because Machiavelli was right all along. It is better to be feared than loved if one cannot be both. But the highest form of fear isn't physical. It's the fear of losing your presence, the fear of being forgotten by the man who never needed her, but still chose her. So remember this, you are not here to impress. You are not here to chase. You are here to become the gravity she can't escape, even when she tries. And when you master that, you no longer play the game. You become the game.